Alright, so this is my uh, first tryout for the collegiate tournament as a shoutcaster. As we enter the champ select, this is also a noble gaming tournament. This is the first round of it as well. We have Zephyrus, VG Firestar, Lehot, the Nadell, and Keto Death on the blue team. While we have Kirito, Mute Boy, Paradin, Sanu, Bluff, Pagus 69, and Laspami on the purple side. We have an Oriana ban and Tristana ban right off the bat. Amumu's following right after. That Oriana is probably a target ban towards purple team's mid laner. I'm not exactly sure who that is right now. And actually, just by seeing all of these bans coming out, it can be determined that every single one of them is a targeted ban. The you don't really see these bans in solo queue and whatnot, and not all of these are like completely overpowered champions. So both teams are extremely scared of their opposition right off the bat. Jarvan being covered over by Zephyrus, we'll be seeing him in the jungle if he does get picked up. He did kind of fall out of play with his knock-up hitbox nerf. Like they made the hitbox for the knock-up smaller, but he's still an extremely powerful jungler with his armor reduction, and just his clear speed is just so good as well. And he actually was buffed. His shield now I believe it has a shorter cooldown now, so he's actually a lot healthier in the jungle. That does get locked in though. We'll see what. And since Zephyrus does have exhaust, that's probably um, the support. So they want the first pick the Jarvan. They don't want to reveal the following yet. Lucian insta locked in by Kirito. Kirito is an AD carry main, so we're gonna be seeing him on that Lucian, and Mute Boy locks in the Thresh as well. So bot lane for the purple team has been revealed, so blue team has the leisure to pick around that. They can safely pick their bottom lane and keep their top and mid lane picks hidden, and either one of those picks is going to be coming up from the purple team, so they can choose which lane to counter pick if they choose to do so. Leona getting hovered over by Firestar. We might actually see Braum is open, so we might actually see Braum getting picked up as the support for the blue team. Caitlyn, she's hovering between Caitlyn and Leona. Hot is picking, but nothing. Oh, the Renekton. Oh, so juked me. That's the Caitlyn Leona in the bottom lane. The Leona into the Thresh. She must feel confident with her Leona play. Thresh can completely stop Leona's engage when Leona's Zenith plays in. Thresh's Flay can just stop Leona's dash, and Leona won't really have anything else to engage with until level 6 when she gets her ultimate. So we might, if they do choose to engage, we will be seeing those engages most likely post 6 when she has her ultimate to stop the Thresh from flaying the Leona away. Warwick and Teemo getting hovered over by Harridan, and I'm just gonna call him Snuffy because I can't say that name, to be honest. So yeah, Warwick actually getting locked in by the purple team. We actually haven't seen a lot of Warwick since Feral Flare's nerf. He did fall out. You do see the odd Warwick once in a while, but he skills really hard into the late game, but his early game, uh, if he gets caught out in that jungle by that Jarvan, Jarvan will be easily be able to beat the Warwick, and if since they have the talent, I'm gonna assume it's a talent because it hasn't been it's so close to being locked in. Yeah, with that talent, they'll be able to Talon will be able to quickly join the Jarvan in the jungle because he has that jump, and if and the mid laner for the purple team, if he does roam, Talon can roam just as well as whoever Lesvani picks. Any other mid laner that does come to mind that could easily roam would be actually that Ari would be a good pick, or Lulu. Um, Ari did get buffed in the most recent patch. Hit her, I believe her Q cooldown or the mana cost went down, so that was a good buff for her. And like as I was saying, because they had to pick uh, one of their solo lanes in their previous pick, the Nadal did pick up Rise to counter the Renekton. So we're gonna see how that top lane goes. Ari is locked in against the Talon. Uh, an assassin versus a mobile champ. Since Talon does have the silence, when Talon does jump in on the Ari, Ari will not be able to disengage so easily. And post six, we may just in post six, it may just come down to who can catch the other one out first. Because if Talon catches the Ari out, then Ari's gonna definitely die. If Ari catches Talon out, though, Talon is gonna take a lot of damage, and he might die as well. So, Rise does have Ignite as his Summoner's Fall, while Renekton has the Teleport. So Rise he does since he does scale into the later game. He's gonna like most Rises actually do bring Teleport because if there's a gank happening in another lane, he can teleport there and even get farther ahead. But since he has that ignite, he will be stronger in the lane than Renekton. Renekton, while yes he is an earlier champion, that teleport is not going to help him whatsoever when he's fighting the Rise. And if Rise puts teleport on the Renekton, he not the teleport. If Rise puts the ignite on the Renekton, he can minimize the healing done by Renekton and possibly win an early trade, putting him so far ahead. So we're just waiting for that delay period to end. Uh, you know what? I'll use this time to actually look at um, the champion pool of these members and see if they're actually playing what they're quote unquote best at. So Zephyr, he has a Vi game, Leona, and a Ziggs game. So he's kind of all over the place. Can we see their most played champions? It's not loading for me, unfortunately. So we'll just go on to the next one. VG Firestar. The client's so good. The Leona plus Crank and Rise. So Leona is most played on VG Firestar's account. So we can be sure that she's incredibly confident with that pick. The Nadell though, since he did switch with Rise. Yeah, he did switch with Rise. So don't know where that actually went from. Sivir, Talon, and Jinx. So she is, we could say she's an AD carry main with 111 games played with Sivir. So we can clearly see where that Sivir ban came from. Keto Death. Our client, so good. Rengar, Udyr, and Akali. He doesn't have actually a lot of ranked games play, so we can't really say that's we can't really say that he had any specific bans. We can see Rengar, Udyr, Akali, Renekton, Jinx, Vayne. So he's kind of all over the place right here. So that may just be his best mid laner. All in all, when if the blue team can bring it to late game, I would say they have a better chance of winning than the purple team. But we also have to consider um, just how this game goes, because if purple team can win earlier and just shut down this Rise over and over again, because post 6 Warwick's ganks almost always results in a kill, and if since it's actually that's actually good for the Rise, because in the pre-6 Warwick won't be able to gank for the Renekton extremely early, and Rise can use that opportunity to get ahead of Renekton. Like theoretically, this is just Renekton could be a better player than Rise, but Rise could use this opportunity to get ahead of Renekton. And after 6 though, he's gonna have to play a lot more careful, because he's gonna be the constant threat of a 2v1 gank, of a 2v1 because of a gank by Warwick. I guess that's why he has the ignite to get ahead lane, because he probably predicted Renekton to bring teleport, so he could have brought that ignite in response to that, because he knows he would have been stronger than the Renekton if he brought the ignite. In that bot lane though, I already talked about the bot lane. What am I doing? So actually, we're just waiting for the game to start, and I'll just remind everyone that this is the one of the many games that I am considering to put as an application for the collegiate tournament. This is application to be a shoutcaster. Yeah, so we're just waiting for the champions to load in. I wish I had normally I have someone to talk to when I cast. This is actually uh my first solo cast. Alright, so we're actually finally into this game. I'm just gonna adjust the bar at the bottom so we can all see the champions. So quick start by the majority of the blue team. Jarvan, Caitlyn, and Leona all headed straight for the blue. Pings though going down at the bottom tri bush. Looks as though actually this is definitely going to be an invade. And since Rise isn't there, purple team will have the advantage though. Lucian getting spotted out, missing the ward. Caitlyn putting a bit of damage. Leona is using her Zenblade in. Ari has her charm up, charms the Leona, taking really low. Warwick though, also just taking auto attack after auto attack by Caitlyn. Bit of a skirmish. Rise isn't there yet, so and charm. But going up by Ari, missing the Caitlyn. Yeah. Thresh hook though, getting the Leona, but the rest of the team isn't there to respond. All of them are out of like vision of them. All of the purple team is out of vision for the blue team. So it's a bit strange for Kalen to be going in all alone. Every single one of them is going to be back. Warwick headed towards his own red buff, and actually no casualties. Doesn't look as though there were any summoner spells blown. Actually, yes, Leona did pop her exhaust, so that will be a bit of a disadvantage in the bottom lane for the blue team. Warwick spotted out at the blue team's blue buff. He's just gonna walk with his tail behind his legs and just go take his red buff. But because he had to walk all the way from blue buff to red buff, he's gonna be so far behind. Jarvan just finished his camp and Warwick just started it. So all in all, it's good for the blue team. Rise did start with a mana crystal, so while he won't have a lot of mana regen in that lane, but he will have the larger pool to larger mana pool to access. So his damage, yes, it will go up a bit higher, and his damage will be higher in the lane, but he's gonna have to be more conservative with his mana. Renekton though, starting with a Negatron cloak, taking a lot of damage by the Rise. That ignite is gonna take him down. A good long range hook from Thresh, catching the Leona, but Leona Zenplays onto the Lucian. Both teams putting a lot of damage out, and that was a good trade for the blue team. Leona taken down to half health. Kaylin just pounding both Thresh and Lucian down to half as well. Thresh getting another hook. Leona getting a Zenblade onto Lucian, stunning them. Kaylin in the middle of, in between Thresh and Lucian, and she does fall to the piercing light by Lucian. Warwick is there to gank, and he's gonna pick up a kill onto Leona. A lot of action right off the bat from both of these teams. Renekton with the Negatron Cloak Star, like, you could see that he was afraid of the Rise, but he didn't take the precautions. He didn't take any precautions, and he went really far ahead, way too early. Does get the stun off. Nice stun Q combo from the Renekton, but Rise comes out so far, comes out way ahead, and he hasn't even gone back yet. Sorry about that. Jarvan does get some counter jungle going, and it looks as though he wants to gank in the mid lane, but Talon does ping him back. He's walking around. He's walking behind them now. Warwick just finding out that his camp is gone, and this is gonna be a gank onto the Ahri. She has to flash, but she's gonna fall for it. Really good gank by the Jarvan. So, since both AD carries died in that fight, they both picked up Doran's blades. Lucian did come out a bit more ahead. He has about 200 more gold, so he has those boots, so he's a bit faster in that lane, and that could actually help him dodge the Zenith blades. A big minion wave for the Rise, just pushing closer to the tower. It'll be harder for Renekton to harass the Rise, and the Rise will just get some easy farm in that top lane. Long range Zenith Blade onto the Lucian. Kaylin using her net to get even closer and putting out a lot of damage. Thresh not there yet, so Lucian is gonna have to be careful. Ward by the purple team is gonna spot out Jarvan near the bottom side. So Renekton could play a bit more aggressive against. Sorry, my throat is dry. Yeah. So that ward has died, and Jarvan gonna walk in. He hasn't been spotted by the ward. They both see, both teams. The blue team does see that Thresh and Lucian are in that bush. So if one of them gets just close enough, they might go in. Thresh though using his Q to get in. Jarvan waiting in that bush. He probably could have gone in onto the Thresh and picked up a kill, or at least a flash. But as it is, he's just soaking up experience away from Kaylin and Leona, and not a good thing for them. They do see Warwick there. Warwick going for a gank. They don't see Jarvan, so this is gonna be a surprise for him. And he's taking down really quickly. Leona using the Xanadu Blade, but he just follows the Warwick when he picked up Thresh Lantern, and that was an easy stun. Flash by Warwick is popped, and so he's gonna get away. Heal from Lucian is up, so they will have that to save themselves in the event they get caught. Oh, let me just change that back. Forgot they you couldn't see the purple side. Pink's going down in that middle lane. Looks like Ton went to go ward. Yeah, he went to go ward the red camp so he can see Warwick if he wanted to gank. Both players are level 6 in that mid lane, and wow, my throat is really dry. Jarvan is going to take that red buff, and we'll have to see if he donates the blue buff to Talon. Talon getting caught by the charm by Ahri. He does jump in, and Ahri doesn't have any more skills up other than her ultimate. That's good water. The next engage by Talon could result in a death to Ahri. He has enough mana to, so we'll have to see if he does jump in. Missing Pain going down to that top lane. There it is. There's the jump. Ultimate. And Ignite from Talon. Just completely melting the Ahri from half health. And that's another kill for the Talon. Actually, what I didn't see, what I didn't even notice was Renekton dying again to the Rise. He does have the Catalyst and a tier now. Huge trade in favor of Rise. Warwick gonna take that blue buff. He knows that Ahri's just gonna die with it. So he's going to pick up and get ahead himself and hopefully help the other lanes. Because as it is right now, even if Warwick does gank for the Ahri, there's no way that he can pick up a kill on Talon because his ultimate is back up already. And it hasn't even been a minute. Actually, it's just been a bit longer than a minute. Warwick catching a lantern by the Thresh, getting a hook onto Leona, and she's going to fall to Lucian. Actually, it's a bit of gold in the pocket of the purple team, and Pink's going down to Dragon. They did, since Warwick was seen bomb, they immediately suspected it. Warwick Q just gonna, I believe it's called Hungering Strike. If I'm not correct, yeah, Hungering Strike just gonna heal Warwick off the damage Talon does. Thresh is in that Dragon Pit taking a lot of damage. Yeah, so Renekton, instead of building more resistance, like maybe like a Negatron cloak, not a Negatron, a Negatron cloak, and to maybe build that into an early Spirit Visage or Banshees, he does choose to go for a pickaxe. So even though he's so far behind, he goes for a more damage-oriented build, and that could really hurt the rest of his team because they need a beefier person, and since he's so far behind, they're not going to get that beefier person for a while. Jarvan's so close to his Spirit of the Elder Lizard. He has 900 gold in his pocket, so he might be going back soon and gonna pick that up. Warwick already has his Ghost Lantern, so he's gonna be starting to. Yeah, he has 15 stacks right now, so he's halfway to getting a Feral Flare. Jarvan looking for a gank in that top lane. Ryze doesn't need any help whatsoever, but they just want to shut down Renekton even harder. Just milking every single kill that they can from him. Ping's going down. Warwick does gank. The EQ missing by Jarvan. Renekton is going to fall. No ult popped by the Warwick. Talon does catch him out. The silence from him, speed boost, trying to catch him out. EQ combo by Jarvan, is gonna pick up the kill onto the Warwick. They aren't in position to take a dragon though. Jarvan just gonna mosey on down to Wolf Camp and get some well-deserved gold. Talon, since he doesn't have his ultimate up, he is at a bit of a disadvantage on Ahri, but he just jumps in regardless, putting a lot of damage. Both players taken down to equal health. Talon, he does have the Tiamat, so it looks as though he's going to be building a Hydra first. In the bottom of the long range hook onto Kate by Thresh. Leona misses the Zenith Blade. Caitlyn taken down to half health. Lantern puts Lucian in range, but he misses his W. I believe what is that called? His Ardent Blades. I would never have gotten that. Jarvan has not been spotted. Actually, has been spotted out now because he just walked over a ward, but otherwise he could have gone in. So yeah, both teams really aggressive, especially in that bottom lane. Leona missing that Zenith Blade really turned it around for the purple team. Warwick just walking straight in. They can see the Leona. Talon is there to provide some pressure, but he misses his rake. The flash by Lucian is gonna save him, and Thresh is just gonna fall for his team. Does Caitlyn have her ultimate? She doesn't have her ultimate either. Jarvan, knowing that Warwick was taken extremely low, they're gonna take advantage of this and go for a dragon. Neither Lucian nor Warwick can help, and if Ahri does end up going, she's just gonna die for it. She's gonna try to steal it, but blue team does see her there. The CS lead on blue team is just so I'm not gonna say, like, I don't know what the word what's that word, but it's just so inflated on the blue team. 90 to 50 in the top lane, 115 to 80 in the mid lane, 108 to 93 in that bottom lane. It's just looking so good for the blue team, and the way it's going, the way that this team is just ramping up, it's looking pretty good for them. As it is, only the Warwick and the Lucian are actually doing well in the team. Renekton, at 15 minutes, he only has a pickaxe and a null magic mantle. Neither of those two things actually build into a single item. So he's building two items at once. That Negatron, that null magic mantle, will be picked up into built into a Merc Treads, but that'll be the only magic resist he's gotten throughout that entire lane. And at 15 minutes, that's some really late magic resist that he needed a lot earlier. Blue buff does get picked up by Jarvan. Doesn't look like Talon wants it at all. And Warwick does take the blue buff, not even giving it to Ahri, just knowing that. Just like that's actually putting her even more behind by not giving her the blue buff. She doesn't have the ability to spam abilities in that lane. And since both towers are still up, we could since both towers are still up, she really could have used that blue buff. Jarvan though, scouting for a kill, waiting to go in. He does throw that E down, and nothing doing in that top lane. They're just focusing down this Renekton. top lane tower is going to take a lot of damage. They're going to back off of it. Warwick is in the nearby area, but I don't think they can 2v2 at this point, right? The Renekton is just so far behind. We haven't seen that really in a while, and Ari actually does quite a bit of damage to that tower, and just the way it is, it might fall. Talent is there to just immediately stop that minion. In the bot lane though, Zenith's Blade getting onto the Lucian, but Thresh throws a really good lantern out, so Lucian can dodge the Solar Strike. Jarvan just jumping straight onto Ari, yelling Demacia. So that was a really good fight in the bottom lane for blue team, but Warwick is there to pick up another kill. He does have his ultimate up. He actually is forced to flash because heal and flash were popped by Caitlyn. So that's a flash from Warwick. So a bit of his ultimate threat is gone right there. So it does give the rest of the blue team a bit of leeway when they do get ganked or flanked by the Warwick. He won't have his flash up, so they have a bit more time to react. Infinity Edge picked up by both the AD carries at this point. Lucian has that Sapphire, so that's definitely being built into a Triforce, while the Brawler's Glove, that's what it's called, I believe. Brawler's Glove, yeah. Most likely gonna be built into a Zeal, and that will be subsequently built into, I'm gonna take a guess, and maybe a Static Shiv, but it could also be a Phantom Dancer. But my bet is on Static Shiv. Talent doesn't finish the Hydra, but oh, nice Solar Flare onto the Thresh, just locking him down. Jarvan just walking behind them. Lucy does step on a trap, locking him down, and he doesn't have ultimate. Actually, he does have ultimate. Jumping in, flash by Talon, just completely melting the Lucian. Thresh staying alive just a bit longer, long enough for Renekton to teleport, and since Leona was staying in that turret, but she does survive with about 200 health, and with Renekton in that bottom lane now, top lane is pushing in favor for blue team. He did, since Ryze wasn't in that lane, so he said he sacrificed a lot of farm just to get to that tower that did eventually fall, regardless of him being there or not. I mean, Dragon is up in about 10 seconds, so he would have had to be there. He would have had to have been there regardless. And because he teleported to that tower, actually, the cooldown of his teleport is shorter. Ari, though, not recognizing the fact that Dragon is up, did start to back, but she did cancel it out. Both teams headed there. Warwick, though, Warwick headed towards that red buff. I guess he thinks red buff is better than Dragon, and since they don't have their smite there, this is a free Dragon for the blue team. Picked up by Caitlyn. Lucian getting caught the wrong side of that wall. Solar Flare casting out Lucian and Renekton. They're both gonna fall. Actually, Lucian does fall immediately, and Davidus popped by Renekton, gonna save him from the Caitlyn ultimate. Actually, no, the Caitlyn ultimate didn't do enough damage. He just popped the Davidus because it looks cool. I'm actually sorry that my voice is actually breaking up. I don't know. I'm getting progressively sick as this game goes on. But as I was saying though, like way before, Talon didn't play a Hydra. Instead, he sticking the Tiamat, and he picks up a Last Whisper and a Brutalizer. So his damage is just gonna be off the charts. Warwick catching out the Jarvan EQ combo. He's actually gonna get away from this. really good by the blue team. Rise having to flash away. Could be taken really low by the ignite, juking the culling by Lucian. Ardent Blaze picking up a kill onto Caitlyn and takes the lantern away. Talon in that bush waiting, picking up a kill onto Thresh. Jarvan picking up a kill onto Lucian. She does dash away. Talon is there to pick up the last kill on the Lucian. That was a really good turnaround. That was a really good 2v3 for the blue team. Talon was waiting in that bush, and he just jumped in onto the Thresh, completely melting him, and Ari just doesn't have the amount of the damage to kill Talon fast enough, and he did get away. Jarvan, bit too late on the reaction. He does jump in the end, but he did fall for it. Talon did avenge his comrade's death by killing the Lucian though. So yeah, Caitlyn does pick up a Phantom Dancer, and while she only had the Warwick, just knowing he's gonna die regardless, doesn't even try to move. But Caitlyn only had the Brawler's Glove and the dagger when Lucian had only a Sapphire Crystal, and she already has her PD while Lucian finished only a Sheen. So all in all, like the gold deficit for the purple team is huge. It's about actually it's 1100 gold, 11,000. My bad.
Attention, NBG, your admin answer. Look for some silvers for tonight's tournament. If you'd like to participate, come over to the join late lobby.
And that's our admin calling for a sub. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch that fight. But that did go in favor of the blue team, 2 for 3. They will not be able to push in this tower with just the amount of clear that they have. And the fact that Thresh will be up. Actually, Ari and Renekton will be up by the time that wave gets to that tower. Caitlyn and Rise are going to have to leave. Lucian, though, taking a huge amount of damage from the Rise, and Caitlyn picks up the kill. Rise used that rune prison, but the Mikhails from Thresh is going to stop Warwick, and Warwick's gonna end the rune prison. They end up going in really far onto the team. Jarvan is there and he's helping. Jarvan's just yelling, "I'm Jarvan and I'm helping." They're gonna catch out the Thresh and using that hook to get just a bit farther away. He's still gonna fall regardless. Talon jumps in onto the Warwick and he just melts him. I wish I had the capability to show you replays. Ardent Blaze just missing the Talon, and he's gonna walk away from this. But yeah, they don't have any wards. Lucian, it's extremely risky for him to continue walking if they time it. Yeah, Leona catching out the Lucian. Jarvan's there. They're gonna kill Kirito. Bit of a kind of bloodthirsty right there, Kirito. And Baron is going to be picked up by blue team. They don't have any they won't have any opposition for it. Oh, that's actually a surrender vote. Oh, so that's the end of the first game of NBG's daily tournament. Thank you.